let's get on to our last hot take, Lou. I feel like this is going to be a good one.
Hey, it's John. So I would say my most unpopular wrestling opinion would definitely be the fact that I think Jinder Mahal is a top 10 WWE champion of all time. I think he elevated that title to another level in not only the United States market, but the Indian market as well. And honestly, I think he brought Randy Orton back into relevancy with the Punjabi prison match and with bringing the Great Khali back, because obviously, I mean, he is the Maharaja. So like he has that effect on anybody that he steps in the ring with.
Now, John, I like John. I like John's moxie. Can't say I agree with Jinder Mahal being a top 10 WWE champion ever, in the words of John, my good friend. Look, brought Randy... I can't even say it. Brought Randy Orton back to relevancy, apparently. That Punjabi prison match is one of the worst WWE title matches I've sat through. It was painfully boring. Painfully. Love Jinder, by the way. I've interviewed Jinder on several occasions. He is one of the nicest blokes you'll ever meet. And I'm glad that he got his moment because he worked hard, right? Cool. Come on. Top 10 greatest ever, Lou?
No, not for me. When I saw this hot take when I was creating them, I had to have a glass of milk because it was just too damn hot. Too damn spicy. It was that, yes.
Some of the
that is
amazing here. That is definitely a hot take, of course.
It was.
I wish I had Rick James here right now.
Listen, respectfully, I would disagree because John seems like a great guy, but respectfully, I will have to disagree. It was a experiment, and I applaud them for giving us something different. Just the wrong guy to do it with. It was. Would he even be top?
I don't think there's been 100.
No. But no, he wouldn't. I think there is cause to say Jinder Mahal would be in my 10 worst WWE champions.
Some great comments. Sorry, please.
For podcast listeners, someone has just said, "Can someone go and check if John is okay?" And listen,
John's okay. He seemed like a lovely bloke.
Seemed like a lovely, and his smile at the end was was infectious. But listen, he would be for me one of the worst WWE champions. Not for his work. Yeah. He tried his hardest, and I commend him for that. He was put in a tough position where WWE were trying to break into the Indian market. They thought, way to do this is to put the title on Jinder.
Hang on. And then they had Triple H beat him in India. Don't forget that.
Yeah, don't forget that. But it's also the fact that he beat Shinsuke Nakamura twice. That didn't help because we all were raving about Shinsuke, and a couple of months after his main roster debut, Jinder's beating him. And that is although Jinder's not going, as far as we know, but I would be shocked, he's not going into Vince, holding him ransom and saying, you need to make me beat Shinsuke Nakamura. The decision is not his.
Yeah.
The decision is not his, but by default, by the fact that he beat one of our favorites, someone that we wanted to see sort of progress up the card, we just by default weren't that into what he was doing. So for me, I'm going to have to respectfully disagree. And with the Punjabi prison match and the return of Great Khali, which wasn't even followed up on, it was the most boring match I think I've ever seen. So I'm going to have to respectfully disagree.
Ooh, Mayor of Painesville, Dan, said Slater versus Drew versus Jinder, WWE title one day. Let me tell you something, Dan. Yes, I would actually watch that. I would. I think. Not. What? You wouldn't watch it? Come on now. Let me tell you something. Slater has improved immensely. He looks a lot better, and it seems kind of like renewed enthusiasm and impact. Jinder and Drew was going to happen, and I would have liked the story being told there. So why not? I mean, it would be fine for a one-off match. I'm not saying you build to Mania, Lou.
Maybe a Raw main event. Cool, like an open challenge.
Or even pay-per-view.
No, not for me. Not for me. If you told me that, and I love Drew, I am a massive fan of Drew. If I looked at that, I would have said, all right, this is in a year or so's time. Drew has possibly lost the title and fallen down the card a bit, and this is an IC title feud or a US title feud. That is what that screams out to me. And I hate saying it because I love all three men involved. But there is always going to be that connotation of 3MB that didn't do anything for anyone, at least in terms of credibility. So for me, I probably wouldn't be that interested in seeing it as a sort of pay-per-view. But if you told me for a one-off Raw, like Drew issues an open challenge and those two were to come out at the same time and you lead to it, I'd watch it. Okay. Because it's my job.
Not willingly. All right.